The mind map is a very valuable process to use if you are developing something and you want to include all aspects of the solution. First, I will discuss the advantages of a mind map, and then I will go through an example. By the end of this presentation, you should have a pretty good feel of what a mind map can do for you. This presentation will terminate with its last slide overviewing the benefits of building a system using the tools of the Toyota production system. First, I want to come clean. This is not a Lean Six Sigma tool, but it is so valuable I am including it among them. It's used to flesh out the design of a product or process. Sometimes you can come up with a really good idea, but it takes a whole team to determine that you haven't left something important out. A mind map does just this. It starts with a concept and then fleshes out the complexity of the concept and the requirements of the concept. This simple example is about designing a software program that manages the food inventory of a refrigerator. This new product is a Refrigerator Food Inventory System, or RFIS. The very first step is to label the product or service. The next step is to start building onto that. The first thought that came to mind is that you must check in the food that is going into the refrigerator. As a start, I would like to capture the name, amount of the food, and the expiration date to determine freshness. At this point in the process, the list does not need to be complete, nor does the methodology on how to do it need to be complete. However, at this point, you've thought out the first thing, and you have the first task that you can assign to a team or a software designer. Once we know what's in the refrigerator, the next step is to check the food out of the refrigerator. There's nothing to say that this food cannot be reintroduced into the refrigerator later. Now that we have the activities needed to check in and check out food, what is next? Next, it's important to be able to see what food is in the refrigerator, represented by the grocery list. The grocery list is important because it helps you determine what you have and what you need to buy. The grocery list is an area that can really be embellished in the future. The next area, security, represents something that you need that may not be obvious. This is one of the core strengths of the mind map. The ACL represents the access control list, or who is allowed to add or remove food from the refrigerator. Also, who is allowed to access the grocery list. The other aspect of security is to keep nefarious people out of your business. I don't necessarily see security as a big issue until you get to the point where your grocery list is attached to a grocery store who automatically fulfills what you're missing. If your food budget is not unlimited, or you just want to manage it, it may be valuable to attach the system to some sort of home budget. It would be nice at least to be able to see how much you spend on groceries. The very last thing on my mind map represents a safety feature. This is a notification of the refrigerator operating above or below its operating temperature. There could be other safety features also, such as monitoring the expiration date of the food. There may be even other ideas that you can contribute. The first takeaway is to err on the side of more minds rather than less. The whole goal of a mind map is to flesh out all of the components of a new product or new process. It lets you take away a holistic view of the solution. It also lets you later share the solution with others. I think of a mind map as a starting point. Each of the areas highlighted may need their own mind map. The mind map should not limit ideas, but expand them. Each mind map offshoot could represent a project for a team. They could also use a mind map for their project. Lastly, a mind map does a great job of making sure you don't forget something really important. If you do forget something, just add it to the mind map later. Begin the journey. I am Jim Fitzgerald, a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt and an expert on building your system using the tools of the Toyota production system. Also, the road to operational excellence comes from using Lean Six Sigma to remove the fat, or as Lean Six Sigma refers to it as, waste from your system. Lastly, use the innovation methodology from Silicon Valley to innovate past your competitors. I told you at the start that this last slide overviews the advantages of using the tools of the Toyota production system to improve your system. This slide just gives you 8 of the reasons that the Toyota production system is great. I will quickly go through them one by one. However, understand that there are many more reasons than this, like a positive change of system culture. You know that you own the market when 10 out of 15 cars still owned by original owners after 15 years are Toyotas. If you simply look at the metric of net income per employee, you'll see that Toyota receives about 28% more net income per employee than does General Motors. Toyota creates operational excellence by constantly accelerating processes, decreasing cost, and increasing quality. Toyota seeks perfection by garnering from their employees about one idea per month per per employee for each of these ideas in a system strategic benefiting direction. How can you catch a company accelerating into the future like that? Toyota is about 30% more productive than GM. One of the ways that they are more productive is that they have profound knowledge of every process within Toyota. This gives them a strong focus on the value they deliver to their customer. Toyota has a very tight relationship with their suppliers. If a supplier is not meeting the quality standards, they will actually send Toyota employees to the supplier to help them improve. In response, suppliers hold down their costs and sometimes even decrease their costs. If you want to improve your system using the tools of the Toyota Production System, then visit the website www.buildyourtps.com.